then Nike, that's what they get for price gouging. Goodness gracious. New Dre's is $220 now. And that's ridiculous. No.
Over-rotated toward the direct-to-consumer. And then when it came back time for Americans and folks around the world to go shopping again after COVID, Nike just didn't have the same kind of priority and placement on the store.
You go to these stores, and it's like,
really resonating
like every time I walk in the night.
So what's up with y'all, man? John and Russell. We back with another YouTube video. If you're new to my channel, hit that like, comment, subscribe button. We cover all things business, lifestyle, reaction video to a wide range of different topics. If you're returning, hit that like button, leave a comment. Man, it means a lot. Appreciate you tuning in. You already know what we getting into. Got my co-host for the night, Jay Cleasy, reacting to some videos.
Yes, sir, man.
We cooking up. More content on the way. Let us know how you like this setup. All that. Moving to this next video. Why Nike is struggling, period. Let's get in. Nike stock been down. They sales been down. They ain't been having no major collab. Last major collab they had was probably Travis Scott and the Virgil, but he passed away, so they stopped that. So, and same with Adidas. Sneakers is going down, but it's a luxury item in my opinion. But let's see why CNBC talking about this.
Nike is the world's largest sportswear brand. This year, the company is on a mission to get its stride back. This week, the company posting its first earnings under new CEO Elliott Hill.
Nike beating on the top and bottom lines, but its sales fell 8%.
Analysts say it's the beginning of a long turnaround for the company, after what should have been an Olympic gold earnings summer. Nike shocked the market.
Shares of Nike are in free fall after they missed on revenue last night and cut their full-year earnings guidance. The shares down 20% are on pace for their worst day ever.
The plunge wiped out $28 billion of Nike's market cap.
That was July. $28 billion market cap. That joint fell. S&P 500 doing better than that. Jeez.
This stock is cut in half since the all-time high.
That's what y'all get raising these prices.
That proves to you that these companies rely on influencers, on celebrities to sell their product.
They do.
Adidas, heavily. Like you mentioned, Adidas too. Like
they
Adidas sucks after the Yeezy thing.
It's not the same. The revenue would never be.
What
the same.
Other Adidas is popular other than the Yeezys?
Yeah.
Like on a global scale.
Like the Sambas and stuff is cool. That's not gonna be bread, but that.
And the profit margins for Yeezy was like. Retail Yeezys was like what, 300, 280?
Between 200 and 250.
250.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying 250 for a regular Nike shoe,
like
bro.
They were it's crazy.
Number of 2021, like what's happening? Is competition eating their lunch? I mean, that's pretty clear to me.
The company blamed its performance on everything from macro challenges to remote employees.
It turns out it's really hard to develop a boldly disruptive shoe on Zoom.
But experts say this was part of a years-long series of strategic errors.
When a $50 billion business sees a down 10% quarter, it's not an overnight occurrence.
Meanwhile, net sales of emerging competitors Hoka and On.
I was like, Hoka been killing it.
I've been seeing Hoka a lot at work too.
Yeah, I got them.
What is?
Oh, that's the parent company. Deckers Outdoor. Interesting.
That
holding on. I haven't heard of them, but yeah, I got me a pair of Hokas. Those drinks are comfy. They're stylish. I want more pair for sure, and I see them a lot of elders are wearing. Older people wearing them too.
So they're comfortable.
Yeah, they're comfortable. They stylish. They nice.
% in recent quarters.
That is show. Because when I was younger, like high school, I thought no other brand could really take market share from Adidas and Nike. But seeing Hoka over the past couple of years, they've been taking market share.
Slowly but surely.
You know what I mean? So it's still possible.
Anything's possible.
Even established rivals like
can't
Adidas
sleep in
and
business.
ASICS.
Even ASICS with the runners.
Yeah,
the runners been selling crazy. Them drinks is up. Nike's still down. Adidas barely making it, keeping up with the S&P. But Nike is down. Like,
dang. Well, that's what they get for trying to sell Yeezys without Yeezy's name.
And then Nike, that's what they get for price gouging. Goodness gracious. New Dre's is $220 now. And that's ridiculous. No. I'll go get something else. I mean, I still love the J's, but there's more options out there now.
Nike
way more options
has fallen behind. And I think that's illustrative of the fact that
what it is.
they've had a bit of a lull when it comes to innovation.
Especially during the pandemic, they got spoiled because they were releasing. And another thing, they were releasing too too much inventory. They had Dunks. Those Dunks right there were coming out every week. Every weekend, Dunks was coming out. They got too greedy because people were buying them. Then they oversaturated the market, and then the market tanked. And nobody wanted them more because everybody had them, and now they feeling the results of it.
Then the kind of scale that Nike has achieved isn't worth much if you don't have
the pandemic. We had that money, so everybody was buying.
Now all eyes are on Nike's new CEO, Elliott Hill, to turn the company around.
Company veteran Elliott Hill is going to come out of retirement like Tom Brady to take the helm.
So what happened? And can Nike's new CEO get the iconic sportswear giant back on track? Since going public in 1980, Nike's formula of marketing around elite athletes helped it become a global superpower.
So what makes Nike special? Well, that's, I think, part of the magic of the marketing. So much of retail is storytelling. Nike dominates, or historically has dominated, storytelling.
We came back from the impossible, from being broken.
And that storytelling resulted in strong sales. By 2016, Nike reported annual revenues of $32 billion. Nike co-founder and former chairman Phil Knight decided he wanted to shift the company's focus towards digital growth before he stepped down as chairman in 2016. In 2020, former Nike board member John Donahoe replaced Mark Parker as CEO of the company.
Joining me,
it wasn't him.
John
it was the
Donahoe.
past
He's
CEO
brand
that
new
tanked it.
CEO
I forgot what strategy he did, but it was bad strategy.
Nike,
I think he put too much
under
inventory
Parker,
out. That was it.
they were hitting their stride when it came to design, resonating with the consumer. The next wave of growth for Nike was going to be in digital. Donahoe made sense because his background is as a tech executive. He was the CEO of ServiceNow.
Oh, that's what the CEO did. The past one, he messed it up because he thought he didn't need. They canceled their partnership with Foot Lockers, Foot Action. All those stores closed. They stopped their distribution to their stores, and they did it all in house. So you can only get the newest releases on the sneakers app or the Nike website. And then once they did that, I think that messed up everything.
Because you can't get them.
Yeah.
eBay.
And that I know for a fact that sneakers app freezes up and janky.
Nike began moving towards a more direct-to-consumer model, or DTC, by pushing sales directly from its own platforms and stores.
What Nike did is they decided, let's focus on DTC. It's a higher margin business, and of course, they want to keep the best releases for themselves, and therefore they pulled back from some of their long-standing partners, like Foot Locker, for example.
That's what they did.
For a while, the plan seemed like it was working.
Because I remember, I was like, what? They're not getting them?
In September 2020, Nike reported digital sales growth of 82%, despite relatively flat revenue for the quarter compared to the previous year.
Because of COVID. We all went into lockdown, and Nike digital online sales were booming. They were ahead of the game when it comes to retailers selling online because they were first at it, and they did extremely well.
Encouraged by this success, Nike began officially limiting ties with retail partners like Dick's Sporting Goods and Foot Locker, and cutting others out altogether. This was a bold move.
So they did it
As
to
of
themselves.
June 2021, these wholesale partners still accounted for around 61% of Nike's sales. But Donahoe seemed to double down on Nike's digital push.
Real quick. So they were saying the majority of their business come from the Foot Lockers, Dick's Sporting Goods.
60%.
Only 40-some% comes from their own.
And they were trying to grow that, but it worked during the pandemic because but once everybody go outside again, I guess it backfired, and the app was glitchy, sells out, bots, all that stuff. Dang. And it backfired.
On this call, Donahoe said the consumer is digitally grounded and simply will not revert back. Here's the problem. Research shows that DTC doesn't always work the way businesses hope it will. A 2024 study by BMO Capital Markets found that retailers who sell directly to consumers didn't actually see a relative increase in revenue, margins, or other profit markers.
Everyone thought, oh, if I eliminate the middle person, I eliminate the partner, I'll get their profits, I'll get their margins. What we showed is it wasn't happening. We realized, no, you don't eliminate the middle person. You become the middle person. And the middle person isn't necessarily a great place to be if you don't have their scale, if you don't have their expertise. And so everyone had to absorb all the costs of running those operations. We found those brands did not see a relative improvement in their sales. They didn't see a relative improvement in their profits. It just didn't happen.
What Nike thought was a sales boost from its new digital model may have just been fortunate timing as the world went into COVID lockdown and shopping went virtual.
You know what I'm saying? For a minute.
When I achieved my bachelor's degree, it was a big
always got
moment
to
for me
change
because my mom passed away.
Strategy and
Still,
business.
I still think of that moment when I got my bachelor's, and I know that she'd be proud now. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
After last month's massive solar flare added a 25th hour to the day, businesses are wondering, what should we do?
I'm thinking company-wide power now.
Anything can change the world of work. From HR to payroll, ADP designs for the next anything.
The last 3 jobs
In 2021, as lockdowns lifted and consumers started to seek out in-store experiences, Nike...
Direct sales, wholesale. So 2019, wholesale majority. 2020, of course, it went down. Wholesale was still kind of...
More a little bit.
Well, actually, no, that's... Blue means direct sales.
And the purple.
So wholesale means it was less.
Okay.
Right? I think
so. It's more wholesale than direct sales. More wholesale than direct sales, and all the way until I want to say 2022 is like where it looks like it's in the middle a little bit.
About halfway.
Yeah, about halfway. But then they couldn't. It doesn't go past that.
Yeah.
Digital growth started stalling.
2022
Internally,
was the best.
The company was undergoing layoffs and cost-cutting measures that it said were focused on shifting resources and creating capacity to reinvest in our highest potential growth areas.
It does appear, according to analysts, that Nike over-rotated toward the direct-to-consumer, and then when it came back time for Americans and folks around the world to go shopping again after COVID, Nike just didn't have the same kind of priority and placement on the shelf.
You go to these stores, and it's like
really resonating.
Like every time I walk in the Nike outlet, I'm like, bro, there's nothing here but clothes, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
and people still like that in person to buy some shoes.
Yeah, bro.
Nike had also pulled back on developing its running business during a time when a record number of athletes joined the sport during COVID.
It had a big impact. Nike previously was really integrated into that running community.
So they lacked in the running segment. They probably boosted up more with the J's, of course, the Dunks.
The more cash cows.
The more casual, and lacked the running. And that's when Hoka came in. Asics with the runners. Those two segments, they came in and took the market share.
Facts.
They came in.
And always speaking to that community.
I know I look for comfortability right now.
Right, yeah, same. I still want style, but the comfy is important.
It's important, bro. Like,
you want some comfy jobs.
Yeah, you won't be wearing them all day.
They pulled back
Make sure
on
they comfortable.
At the same time.
It's like definitely once, like even now since I've been buying shoes for a while, it's like, okay, I got my J's.
Yeah.
The main collection I want.
I feel you.
I transited into runners, the Asics.
Yeah.
You know, more runner vibes, casual
Nike
stuff
was also grappling with a slowdown in consumer spending in China.
There's no question Nike can blame some of it on macro, but it's the flatline growth in North America, which is more suspect and harder to blame on the macro, especially when Adidas is growing its chief competitor because it has more innovative styles that people are really gravitating toward. It became clear that Nike not firing on all cylinders on the innovation front was really when the problem started beginning. And it ceded market share to players, particularly in the running space, like On and Hoka.
Everybody wears these. Yes, this is the Hoka Clifton 9. It is the hottest running shoe of the summer.
Inventory piled up as consumers started to pull back and turn to other brands.
We got money now.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about it. I got a homie
started seeing Nike as being a little
road.
bit cheapened
Make a
because there
prototype.
was such an excess of product. And this goes back to the idea of when you have too much, you become less interesting, you become less popular.
I'm saying
they
oversaturate the
If
market.
there's no line outside the club, most people aren't walking in.
Experts say the lesson learned is for retailers to remember what they do best, something Nike may have lost sight of in its effort to become a tech operation.
Being a technology company is not what makes you special. The mantra of tech is disrupt. Everyone wants to disrupt. If you're doing a really great job, sometimes disrupting yourself is a bad thing. And so figuring out how to evolve rather than break, I think is really important.
By early 2024, Nike started quietly returning to wholesale partners.
You're also leaning into wholesale, which is a bit of a change from Nike. It's been all about direct-to-consumer, sell on your website, sell in your stores, and now there's a shift. Why?
Coming out of COVID, it was quite clear consumers were also moving back into physical retail. And we recognized that in our movement toward digital, we had over-rotated away from wholesale a little more than we intended. So we've corrected that. We're investing heavily with our retail partners.
Foot Locker's relationship with Nike seems to have improved substantially. Nike needs them more than Nike thought. That's very important. It ain't just all DTC.
In September 2024, the company announced Elliot Hill would take over for Donna Ho as CEO.
Elliot Hill is someone that Wall Street doesn't know well, but internally at Nike, what I hear is he's known very well.
Oh, is that the guy that started as an intern?
This is a guy that started as an intern
at
Nike and has now worked his way all the way up to become CEO. He's a 32-year veteran. He also came up through the sales channel, so there are great expectations that he will know what produces a hit and will help turn around the innovation problem that Nike has suffered under John Donahoe.
In its most recent earnings call, Hill said the company will focus on clearing out excess inventory.
Nike, reach out, I double your profits.
We lost
for real. Double that,
Moving forward, we will lead with sport and put the athlete at the center of every decision.
This is not a story that 6 months from now we're going to be cheering about. This is going to be an 18-month plus show me how you're going to compete with all the smaller brands that have come from behind and the customers fallen in love with.
They need to reinvigorate. They need to remind people that Nike is special. And so I think if I'm Elliot right now, I think what I'm doing is I'm going back to my product people and I'm saying, I don't know what you've been working on in the past. Maybe you have something new, maybe you don't. Let's see, what is this innovation pipeline? And as soon as we can start telling people we have good product, then we will put really good marketing. Why does Nike win? Well, Nike has the largest research and development budget, and Nike has the largest marketing budget.
Nossa mindset. Winning is winning.
As long as they use that effectively, it's very hard to compete against. It doesn't mean that new brands can't emerge, doesn't mean that new brands can't take some share, but it means that Nike should always be able to get it back, as long as they have their eye on the ball.
Facts, man. Like if you were CEO, how would you double it? Like, what would be the step?
First thing I'd do, bruh, we look at how much money we spend into these BS models. These I don't know what specific shoes at the top of my head, but any shoe that's not selling that well, that people just aren't cut that. We're gonna use that money to reinvest that into research and development, more so in the runner scene. I think the runner scene is really big. They need to create some type of innovative, like I remember the Roshi Run was big with Nike. Adidas kind of took that, elevated it. So they need to create some type of new stylish runner that's in a good price range, like between that 85, 110, 115.
Facts.
Like that
no more
range.
than 100, 120.
Yeah, they need to get some popular in that range.
Yeah.
Of course, the Jordan, I think, is going to be their biggest segment, one of their biggest segments. But they need to bring back exclusivity. That exclusivity feel like it's too accessible now. And they go on markets. 'Cause I remember in high school, it was so limited to get these shoes.
Yeah.
Then late high school, it became a little easier. Jordans was not selling that big like that.
Like I remember, you can, for like the longest, from middle school to like 10th grade, you cannot. When the Jordan came out, you would not see it in the store.
Yeah, you
like,
couldn't.
It was like it never came out. It just sold out the day of.
Sold out.
And then like 10th, 11th grade, you start seeing those Jordans on the shelf.
Sitting on shelves, bro.
They're sitting on the shelf like, whoa.
And then the market switched again around 2021. COVID hit. Prices went up. Shoes you were seeing on the shelf 2 years ago going for $400. Easy. $400 or $500. Easy, bro. And then it tanked again. So now it's a cycle. It's a cycle. So it's going to come back. They got to fix some things up. But that's one of the first things I would do. Definitely on the marketing. And like he was saying, Nike's big on collaboration.
I think they need to go back to like they said, the athlete. But they also need to do a segment where they have like influencer marketing.
Yeah, more influencers. Not just an athlete, but a big.
We need to gain the kids again.
Yeah, like
we don't have the kids no more.
Like Sean Witherspoon, I know he was one of the big last ones.
Yes.
That had his own silhouette.
Tap into the sneaker community that made y'all big. You know, you know, give them a little a brand deal or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't have to be big. You know what I'm saying? Like just. Get to make videos on the shoe, like make the shoe stylish. That is the key, because sometimes it don't be stylish. Y'all be trying to push something that's like
y'all don't look good, and y'all got all this money in eyeballs, and y'all whoever released this, that's
and y'all trash. Fumbling like, come on, bro.
Yeah, nah, but that's one of the things I probably do, and probably some more stuff. But hopefully they Nike's a legacy brand. They'll make it through. You feel me? They're big. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in for this live stream. Y'all made it to the end. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. This is the last video for the night. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna leave my man's Jay Cleasy link in the bio too, so y'all can subscribe to his channel.
Yes, sir, man.
But appreciate y'all. You got any last words you wanna say?
Yeah, great session, great live stream. You know, we're gonna be doing way more of these. You know, soon. You know, we're getting a feel for it.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, follow me at Jay Cleasy on all socials. And yeah, man, keep Dreaming, don't give up, all of that, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna see y'all in the next video.
Let's get it.